Hello and welcome to episode 1 of Learning Together by Chaos Rift Games. Alright, and let's get started. What this episode, or all of these, this is going to be a rather long episode because I got a lot to cover, so forgive me. But it's really, really exciting, and I am going to go over it really fast, okay? So forgive me if you can't follow along. You can pause, slow down the video, whatever. I mean, the beauty of video is you can pause it and go back and stuff. I've done that for a lot of instructors that I can't even follow, like Ben Tristem. Damn it, you are a freaking squirrel on crack, but I love your stuff. Anyways, yeah, big shout out to Ben Tristem because I really do love his instruction, and I probably would not have gotten here if it wasn't for his awesome courses. And yes, I'm not. There's no affiliation. I just like the guy, his work, right? And in fact, learning how to program through the code really helped with Playmaker. Just want to throw it out there. There is no such thing as no need to learn how to program, no code necessary kind of bullshit. Yes, you do need to know some basics, or else you're going to be so lost. And I've been programming for freaking decades, and I was still a little bit lost when I went to Playmaker. All right, sidetrack over. All right, so I'm really excited to bring this episode to you because this is basically a system that I've been working on. I mean, it really sounds stupid and simple, but mouse over cursor changing, right? So let's get into. Is this the right scene? Yes, this is the right scene. Okay, let's get into it. All right, so you've already seen the scene, right? Same standard scene. Wizard guy is now a chick. Woo. Hey, baby. We can change her hair too if you want. If you don't like the hair, let's see. What can we do? We can go to let's do ponytail. Ching. And ching. Oh, look, now there we go. Okay. You know what? Yeah, let's just stick with that for now. I don't know. I like ponytails. They're like little tug toys. You did not hear that from me. But it is on video. Anyway. Okay, anyways, let's just close this up, right? Oh, player, boom. Okay, so push play. Ding 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 ding. Okay. Yeah, look, it looks pretty boring right now. It's the same old scene that we've been going through. Let's just run through. I love doing this. Oh, yeah. Super sexy. All right, so this is the health pickup. Ding, ding. You're supposed to get 10 health. All right, but... Oh, what happened? Oh, look at that. Hey, look at that. Okay, see? Boom, 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 and boom. All right. Yes, each ball is set up individually to be a different object type, and we forgot the one type over here, which is this guy. Yes, a bad guy, and interactable item here. All right, this is the magic. How the hell did I do this with Playmaker, right? To be honest with you, I would love to know because, yeah. Because it took a long time for me to do this stuff, and I gotta fix the mouse cursor thing. That's just an issue because the Playmaker GUI here, control mouse cursor. If I actually do that and go back into the game, I've been toggling back and forth between Playmaker controlling the mouse cursor and other stuff. Oh, actually, there we go. It disappeared. I don't know what's going on now. Why is the mouse cursor coming back and then not coming back? Well, whatever. It's a bug. That's what happens with game development. You run into bugs once in a while. Stuff snowballs. Okay, anyways. So how did I do that? Okay, well, let's just walk through real quick. Or not real quick. Yeah, actually, it's going to be real quick. All right, my game manager right now, I'm just going to have it initialize global variables. Unfortunately, right now, there's only 2 things that are being initialized. The player object, which is used in pretty much everything that I have, or 90% of my objects interact with the player somehow. And the cursor manager, which is also a big thing, which is this guy right here. So basically, the game manager goes in here. It looks for an object name of Playmaker Cursor Manager, which is this guy right here. Tag, untagged, and then it stores it to a global variable Cursor Manager. Player, player tag, player store. No other object in the game should ever be tagged player. Okay, so then we get the block manager, which I quickly showed you how it worked. These start basically these two guys right here are going to end up being in the game manager because they set global variables. Cursor locked is a major global variable that's used in a lot of stuff that you will see very soon. Game object cursor manager, actually that really doesn't need to be here anymore because that was actually in another event, but I probably just broke everything now. Let's just check it out. Okay, global cursor manager. Okay, good. It is using the global cursor manager. All right, perfect. In fact, hey, this is part of learning together. Is I'm gonna do something and see if it broke my thing. All right, push tab. Here's the thing. Yoo-hoo! It did not break my code. All right, so the variable is properly set. Here we go. FSM cursor manager. FSM cursor manager. Yes, it is properly set by the game manager. Good. That is how it should have happened. Thankfully, it happened that way. All right, so we go basically boom, start. Now we took the bool out. This is gonna go back. This is gonna go to the game manager as well. The cursor should start locked, as you see. When I start the game, the cursor is in mouse mode only. Sends the event, boom, cursor manager, lock, basically set the cursor to default. We'll see that shortly. Mouse state. Is the cursor locked? Yes. Show mouse. No. Hide mouse. Yes. Show mouse. Boom. Send event. Cursor GUI, which is... why am I doing cursor? I don't know. But, cursor, because I wanted to use a different mouse cursor. And then hide mouse, which is cursor default, which is when you saw the little circle with the bullseye. Going into the input manager. This is another major event thing. I'm just going right down the managers. A lot of this is not going to make sense until we get to the very end, so please bear with me, or fast forward and come back. Okay, so start, basically get screen width, height, blah blah blah, divide it in half, so you can find the center, basically the center of the screen. Boom, get action button, which is it used to be a mouse click, but now it's F. You hit F, it does a click check, otherwise none, and it just stays there until you click a key. Button check. This is where basically the screen pick, it basically does screen XY, which is the center of the screen. It finds the picked object, which is on the screen, and it does a parent check, which is basically get parent. I will explain this in a second, so make a mental note of what's going on, and then you will understand very shortly why I'm doing it this way. So if the parent is checked and is layer mask interactable, then boom, it checks the parent. Otherwise, it will essentially, it only looks for interactable layers. Otherwise, it'll send the same object to the back up. Screen pick goes through, looks for only interactable objects. If it picks an object that is interactable layer, it will then check the parent. If the object is clicked parent, Oh, it gets the parent object. Sorry, it's been a long, as I said, it's been a very long week. And I'm doing this off the cuff, unrehearsed, unscripted, because it's more natural that way. Specifies the game object clicked. We check the result, we store the result, and click parent. That's if this right here works, we get the parent of the object we clicked on. This way, if somehow you end up clicking on something, like, I mean, if the childs are accidentally, I don't know, Unity's weird, so I just want to make sure I go all the way to the top before I go all the way to the bottom. If the parent tag is action tagged, which is here, it will then send the parent was interactable. Otherwise, false. It is a test. I mean, we test the child if it's interactable. If the child does not have the tag action, then we just do nothing. Otherwise, we interact. We send the event to the child versus sending the object. I mean, sending the action to the parent. These both do the same thing, except I'm sending it to the child versus object clicked versus clicked parent, right? Boom. If the parent is the object clicked, then both variables are the same. Okay, why am I doing it that way? This house is basically a default layer, which is not interactable. It is also static, which means nothing in the world will change what it does. It is there forever. Tag, untagged. Okay, so then, as you see, there's also no Playmaker state machine. But the shutters, all 4 shutters, have a state machine attached to them. They're also tag action, which is F key. The door also is interactable, and it is not static, which means that it is an interactable object within the world. Why is the fade mode speed tree? Geez, I don't know. I haven't really looked at the level of detail stuff yet. I'm going to replace all of that with sector or something else later on. Okay, the door is interactable, so that means that when we click on the door, it goes up to the parent, says, hey, are you interactable? No. Okay, well, let's check the child. Are you interactable? Yes. Boom. Good. You interact with the child. Send the event to the child, which in this case, it basically just opens and closes the door. Da-da-da. Okay. Great. All that fun. Then we go over here. This guy is a switch, basically the parent object. So if I click on the handle, it'll say, oh, I clicked on the handle, but we'll find out if the parent is interactable first. Otherwise, we'll go down the list and we'll go back to what we clicked on, and we'll see if that's interactable. Basically, here the switch is interactable. That is why I did that in a nutshell. This is also basically just interactable through a switch, which sends an event to this guy, a global event, and says, hey, do stuff. Fall down and kill the player. You are a nightmare. So this is a switch plate, which activates this, which boom, makes the trap fall, which is awesome, and I love falling into that trap. Eventually, the player will learn to hate me because I will have lots of cool traps in the future. And yes, it will be lots of fun. Oh, big breath. Whew. Back to Playmaker managers. Mouse lock, we already covered that. Input manager, here we go. Oh, duh, we just covered that. I need more water. Cursor manager is where all the artwork happened. I spent a lot of time making this look like the flying spaghetti monster. It almost came out perfectly. The beauty of it is everything feeds back into allow input. Let's see this in action. So I'm going to actually put we'll put it here. I'm going to put it in this corner where, hey, I'm not there, so I'm not blocking the darn view, right? That's why I'm doing it this way. All right. So every time I go over an object, right now, because of the way my system is designed, it only sends an event when something has changed. Very, very efficient. Boom. Look at that. Boom, boom, boom. Only when the object changes. Okay. Awesome. ADHD moment. Or actually, side note. Okay. So, this is where my game, all of my programming principle, game design, everything that I do, this is my philosophy of programming, and it's actually been worked really well. Everything is super efficient because of it. Every object is responsible for itself. Every item should only care about its own world, its universe. The way the Playmaker demo set everything up with the no exit demo room was the one button in the room was scanning array out and was telling the player, hey, look at me, I'm interactable, duh, push me. No. What happens if you have a scene like this where that house right there has like 5 interactable items? They would all be casting array out at just nothing, just waiting for the ray to hit something every single frame. Now add that times like 500 to 5,000 objects in a game that are all interactable. Whoa. No. That will probably slow the game down to nothing. Frame rates, dead. I don't know. If you're casting array for no reason forever, yeah, bad idea. It's great for one button, but not for 1,000. So anyways, so my principle is the player, you, me, are casting array out, and we're saying, hey, are you interactable? Hey, just like real life. You walk into a room, you see a light switch. Hey, it's like your eyes are casting array. You're seeing the light switch. You know the light switch is interactable because, I mean, it doesn't have to tell you, hey, I'm interactable. You know that. So basically, that's the game theory that I came up with for designing this Playmaker thing. And believe me, it took a lot of Google searches and a lot of forum hits, and only basically 2 obscure comments really got me to the direction I needed. And I'll show you where each one happened. So let's go back to the cursor manager. Boom. Okay, that's the wrong one. We're going to go to the overlay manager. This is the big magic where everything happens. Prepare yourself. Boom! Whoa, was that a little too loud? Yeah, did it scare me? It scared me. All right. This is probably the most complicated state machine that I've written so far in Playmaker. It was well worth it, and it's actually way more simple than than it looks. Essentially, mouse pick. It only cares. I mean, it only about 3 layers: interactable, enemy, and default, and it stores them in mouse picked variable, which is local variable, mouse picked, and also picked object, which that actually doesn't even need to be used. I only use it once. And in fact, to prove that, we're gonna go like that. Boom, gone. Learning together, baby. I'm looking at the camera and you're not even seeing me because, anyways. This is the first forum comment that I saw, and it was a completely unrelated topic, but I didn't even know this. I mean, basically, it's basically like 10 lines of actual code if I were coding this in reality, because it'd be if object equals new object, or even basically is the same, return. Otherwise, set object as old object or new object, and then send, I mean, basically, yes, it changed. So go on with sending an event. Change cursor. Choose cursor. Otherwise, it just loops on forever. Or just sits there waiting. And perfect. All it's doing is waiting for something to happen for an event to make place. So it's really, really light on code because it's only checking one variable if it changed. Basically, boom. This is testing to see if the cursor is locked or not. If the cursor is locked, it goes in this really big block. Otherwise, it's an interactive cursor, which is basically you're in your inventory or you're just looking around. You're scanning the scene with the cursor, as in, like, let's just say like an old adventure game where you're looking for items to pick up and stuff. It's really better than like Skyrim style where you're constantly moving your character's vision and getting sick and stuff. You can literally hit tab, you scan the scene with your cursor, and you push tab again and you're done. Right? It makes it a lot easier visually and for people who get motion sick because, you know, Skyrim style control. No, I don't have anything against Skyrim. I love the game. Anyways. Locked cursors. So we, because I was having trouble with global events, I just made a bunch of local events right here. So these are all the locals, and then they send a global event over here. I went through and deleted everything and restarted. I do that a lot. Mouse picked. This is the second obscure forum comment that I saw on an unrelated post again, related to something completely different. Literally, game object tag switch. Basically, it is a switch that deals with game objects. And at first, I didn't see this line, this blue line that I have highlighted that says tag switches. So I literally was sitting there like I had like 6 of these tests in there and nothing was working. And I was like, what the heck is going on? I deleted it all. And then all of a sudden I saw this number. I was like, wait a minute, there's a number here. What happens if I type in a number? Yeah, this is what happens when you work too long. You see the obvious disappears, right? I mean, I could literally put in 100 in this. Boom. Well, I mean, look at that. But now I could do 100 tests of different game tags. I don't know why I would ever want to do 100 tests, but that is the advantage of Playmaker. I can add 20 lines of code and wipe it out in seconds. And it's a lot easier than cutting and pasting and formatting and this and that of 20 lines of code. Which takes hours to do, even if you're really good at it, because you can cut code, add code, remove code, and you're all set. I'm starting to really like this visual coding thing a little too much. And yes, this is basically a block of code, and it can be a very, very large block of code. Moving on. It's interact, boom, combat, loot, craft. It depends on basically the tag of the item that you're doing. Boom. It sends the event. This is where the magic happens. It sends the event to the FSM, which is the cursor manager, which is the variable that I showed you at the very beginning of this video that was set in the game manager. So the cursor, the mouse overlay manager, boom, okay, it sends the event, and happiness happens, right? So let's go put this guy in the corner. Push play. Let's watch this bad boy move. And boom. Okay, so we go here. Oh, look at how active this whole guy is, right? Boom. Oops. Now, you're all like, have probably, if you've been watching this far in, you're like, dude, the cursor is not centered. I know. I will fix that probably with you guys in another video of learning together, probably tomorrow. Basically, I don't have enough time to do it today. But I have an idea of how to fix that real quick. A real dirty idea how to fix that. Okay, anyways, look at that. Oh, the enemy and all this stuff. So, anyways, in a nutshell, this whole long-ass video was basically to show you just basically this. Now I can't, even if I right click, I can't move the character. I'm basically locked with this, and it only shows, see how it only changes for the crafting one, because I only care when, I figure you only care about a very small amount of stuff when you're locked, or when you're not mouse look is off, right? Mouse look on, boom. Skyrim style, I can walk, let's, open a door, go into the house. Ooh, look at all this house. Hey, there's a lot of stuff in here. Well, let's pretend, right? So I hit tab, boom. Now I scan the scene. Ooh, look, I found a looty item here, a looty item here. Ooh, I can loot this right here. Boom, boom, boom. I can loot the whole house without, like, instead of like the old days where you're like Oh, the birds are back. Damn you birds, go away. Oh, well, no wonder it's almost noon. Hey, the sun is moving, as it should. Okay. Anyways, thank you very much for watching. If you got this far, wow. I really, really highly respect you for paying attention this long. Anyways, thank you all. I hope you got something out of this. I hope you get something out of my future episodes. I hope there are future episodes. Anyways, thank you and good night.